Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your January reading, but also a look at 2021. I apologize for the delay. I always get a headache New Year's Eve, a bad one, and it usually lasts a couple of days. So I'm good now. All right. The biggest piece of advice I can give you for January is that you can talk yourself out of your own blessings. The blessings are coming in. Some difficult moments too, but the way this astrology is set up, it's so easy for you to lose your cool and have people think bad of you when it's not even true. Have people get the complete wrong impression of you, mess up your money. Don't let your own mouth mess up your money, because there is a lot trying to come in, and then there's you trying to take it right back out, because Mars moves into Taurus. 1, Jupiter squares Uranus. 2, Mars squares Jupiter. 3, every one of those moments is a moment where something big can happen, an opportunity can come in, you can completely lose it and turn it all to dust, or you can use it to plant some seeds and create enormous abundance for yourself. Around that new moon on the 13th, you're going to have a much clearer idea of what I'm talking about and what it is that could make you lose your temper. Now, the whole point of tarot astrology is to understand yourself so you can make the right decisions according to a pattern, a seasonal pattern that happens to be persistent. But then there's also your personal pattern. We know, as Gemini, that when things that we really want start to move in, we have a tendency to sabotage. We know that. But the level of sabotage that you will be engaging in January will be too much. These are opportunities that are not coming back around. So no matter how much in the right you think you are, no matter what point you think you have, nothing is to be said. Just allow your blessings to take root, to take hold. You can do that. You can take something that's going really well and prolong it and make it even better. It doesn't have to turn into a nightmare once you realize that it's going to work. What we do as Gemini is that we assess the situation. We realize that something is working, that's going to be successful. Okay, cool. And then we kind of saunter away from it into something else. That in and of itself would still be fine, but Mercury moves into Aquarius and you feel like you have something to say about what's already been done. That's a mistake. You walk into a new blessing or a new opportunity, and instead of observing, being grateful, taking part in it, you feel like things should be more like this and like this and like this. Now, you can say something if you can handle Mars in Taurus right behind you, pushing you, egging you on, where every word that comes out of your mouth is way sharper than it should be. There's subtext that people are hearing under your words, and it's hurtful and it's cutting, and they have no idea why you're doing it, and you don't even know you're doing it. So none of this is to blame you. For all the January readings, this one is not as much for you as it is for people who want to understand you, because you don't mean it. There's nothing really that's wrong. You've just got these big opportunities coming up that you have to be your best. You've got to be on. And when you're on, you're really sensitive, because when you're on, you're vulnerable, you're bare. And you've got to be super on, because we're talking about the trajectory of your life. January is setting a huge precedent for you. You've got big, big chances to prove yourself, to make improvements, to gain more ground in your work, in your career. But also, there is I've been saying for a while, a weight that's come into us as Gemini, where we're not so flighty anymore. We want something more connected, more serious, and we've stuck to that, and we're happy with that. We're happy that we have these standards. We're happy that we're sticking to our standards. So all of this just adds to your righteousness. So when something does start to go wrong, it isn't going exactly the way you want. You will want to say it, but you have to remember to say it in a way that doesn't cause any sort of arguing. No arguing, no fighting all of January. From the 1st to the 12th, say what you want to. Those new ideas, you want to share them. That new project you want to get going, do it. All the things, all the things. When you get to the 12th, from about the 12th to the 22nd, just be careful, because your words are taking away from you. Now is the time to get quiet. It's time to work. It's time to observe. It's time to not be fussy. And if you can keep it together until the 22nd, then those seeds are planted. Then you have an enormous return coming your way, and things start to look up. Of course, you have the option instead, especially between the 13th and the 22nd, when Jupiter is square Uranus, to really just destroy things just to want to destroy them. And although in the moment it may be satisfying, it will not be in your best interest. Right after January is over, you'll be wondering why you threw such an opportunity away. If we are able to not do that and really love ourselves and be friends enough with ourselves to allow this great opportunity to take hold, then there's a lot that comes with that opportunity. You're thinking, yeah, but you're talking about work and money. Yes, but love is related. Somewhere in that work opportunity, somewhere in that work success, somewhere in that new idea is waiting your new love. So, and I don't usually say things like that, so. And then on the 13th, you have that new moon. Is it the nicest thing? No. Is it the most pleasant to have to worry about taxes and audits and debt and credit cards and all of that? No, but it's something that has to be done, because that's where it falls for you astrologically. So take the time. If you have the money, pay off your debts. If you don't have the money, start to consolidate. Do what you have to, that so you can end the 13th, the day of the 13th, and say, okay, you know what? All of the business end of things that I could take care of, I did. And I've done something in the cause of the rest of the things that I couldn't solve right away. So if you get that done on the 13th, before all that tension between Jupiter and Uranus begins, you're going to feel much better, and your luck is much better that it stays resolved. So get on top of it. Do not wait until the end of January, especially to deal with tax issues. Things that will go right under the radar, you'll be good because you wrote one letter, will turn into a huge hassle after the 22nd. So just get it done. First 2 weeks of January, you're right here, get it done. And then 9 of Wands and the Chariot. Okay. So here I have written for you to move away from the headache and the drama. See, the thing about the headache and the drama is that a lot of the time your headache and drama has to do with what you've decided is the right thing for you and the goals that you've decided, like, this is the mark I want to hit now. And getting between where you are now and to that mark can have a bit of drama involved in it, because people aren't necessarily always on board for what your vision is, right? So here, what we're seeing in January is that there are a lot of things stacked up against you when it comes to belief. There are people who don't really believe in you. They may like the fruit of your labor, but they don't really believe in you, and they're not appreciative of you at all, right? So what you want to do at the end of January is, the reason you want to get really quiet is because there are people who will, by their own actions, end up removing themselves. And you want to let them, especially at the 27th mark. You want to be very cool, no fighting, no being territorial. Just observe how people are. Observe what they get into, what they're about, and allow their behavior at the end of January to determine whether you keep them in your life or not. This is especially true when it comes to work and having a support system. So if you can tell at the end of January that someone is really just not believing in you, it's time to let them go, you know? And then the Chariot. So picking up that, the Chariot, and then the Two of Cups. So Chariot, Two of Cups is pretty simple. You do have these two destinies, these two life paths interweaving. It's coming, it's happening. The more steady you stay on your road, the less friction and drama there is on your path, the easier and quicker it meets up with this person. So it's pretty simple, actually. There are moments when you want to speak up, don't. There are issues in which you are in the right and you could say something, but it'll ruin something much bigger and you'll just be doing it on principle and it'll end up being useless. Self-righteousness, forget about it. Saying it just to say it, not this month. In fact, the more quiet you are, the less volatile you are. The better everything turns out and you get people's respect. You're Michael. You're Michael Corleone. That's who you are. You're not Sunny. You're not freaking out all over the place. You're not getting mad at everybody. You don't have this temper that everybody knows you by, and so they can manipulate you however you want. You're not Fredo. You're not afraid of everything. You're not a weakling. You're not sick all the time. You don't betray people. You're not constantly and painfully lacking resource. You're capable, brave, strong, smart. And you always drink water and you never lose your temper. You're the Godfather. You're the Godfather. You're the Godfather. You be the Godfather. Put that in your head. You be the Godfather and everything works out, because it's a certain amount of power and a certain amount of letting go of control that comes with faith and authority. Faith in who you are and what you're doing and your talent, and authority. I belong here. This is my value. This is what I'm doing here. Mars will bring you that fortitude if you let it. It can turn into this messy energy of you fighting, or it can just as easily give you that gravitas of just watching people do what they do. You're not allowing hurt. You're not allowing pain. You're not allowing disrespect. You're just not blowing up at that first sign when you know something's off, even though you're right and it is off. Just hold back. Hold back and watch it resolve itself, and don't fall into the trap of getting a bad reputation, especially in a new environment that could end up making you a lot of money or be very, very satisfying in the love department. Yes? Yes. Good. How I love you. Let's look at these cards. Hi, Gemini. Welcome to the second part of your reading. So there's the opportunities coming in. Knight of Cups. There's quite a few. I may not have made that as clear in the first part. No, there's a lot of opportunities coming in. They just have to be dealt with in the proper way. So as they come in, there is the choice you have to make. 7 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. Which one is it going to be? Are you going to turn those opportunities into swords that you hurt yourself with and give yourself a bad reputation with? You steal from yourself, you take out of your own pocket? Or do you plant those seeds in the ground and turn them into years and years of abundance? Then there's the next choice. Same choice, really. Once you've got those seeds in the ground, because things go fast in January. By the middle of January, now we're wondering, those seeds are in the ground. Do we pull them up by the root? Do we shake everything from the foundation and make it fall down the tower based on our principles and what we think is right? Or do we hold off? Do we have faith in those seeds that we've put in the ground? Do we not say anything, even though it's going to be very, very difficult and you'll want to and you'll feel like you're in the right? And you give it a week. Now, in that last week of January, you're going to understand why you shouldn't have said anything. It'll come back around in a strange way. And you'll think to yourself, that's why. And then there will be the Ace of Cups. It is not outside of the realm of possibility that during these wonderful opportunities that come to you while you're trying to keep your cool and plant these seeds, someone will be there with this cup and they really want to give it to you. No worries. You can have them if you want them. Let's not make the mistake of taking that cup and then becoming deathly afraid that someone else will be given the same cup. Don't take the cup if you're going to be jealous. Don't take the cup if you haven't matured enough emotionally to understand that that cup is being offered to you only because the person wants to offer it to you. In other words, if your self-worth is not where it should be, don't accept that cup because things will get extremely messy. If you understand that the cup is being offered freely and that you are in fact worthy of it and that it is a real offer, then take it. But also understand that with that cup comes truths. Truths that perhaps this person will tell you that others won't tell you. Things that might upset you. Truths that, you can then turn into things that will hold you up later. Right? Reinforcements. That truth, especially around that new moon, you can take 2 ways. Like everything else, you can take 2 ways. So many choices. Choose your own adventure. You can be upset about it. You can cry about it. You can pull everybody else into it. You can make a big deal out of it. Or you can sit tight. Pretend it's not happening. You don't even see it. You're just like, what? No, I didn't even know. And allow it to play out. If you allow it to play out, what you're going to do is you're going to rob anyone who's trying to manipulate you out of a catalyst. See, they're counting on you. They're counting on you to be the one that hits the fire, that lights the fire, that hits the mark, that throws the first punch or says the first snarky thing. But you're not going to. No, you're not going to, because you're going to beat them at their own game. If they need you as a catalyst, then the only part of that you want to remember is that they need you. You don't need to be a catalyst. Obviously, they can't get things going without you. So when you don't fall into their trap and do it the way that they want you to do it, where they get all the credit, you do it your way. They'll still need you and you can still give them what they need, but they'll do it on your terms. Not because you blew up and now you look like the bad guy. So no being the bad guy. And then there's the Chariot and the Two of Cups.
This is about more than just January. This is about the trajectory of your life. There are big life path decisions being made in January, and they all depend on your behavior. Most of the time it's about choices, and it's about how we feel inside, and it's about how other people treat us, and that's fine. But this month, it isn't about that stuff. This month, it really does boil down to you having very good manners, being on your best behavior, even when you feel like you have been wronged, and allowing the universe to bring you what it's trying to bring you through a tricky test. As soon as Mercury enters Aquarius, you're going to want to say it. The test will be, what's more important to you, saying the thing or success? Happiness or being self-righteous? Being right or being rich? These are choices you'll have to make. I don't presume to make these choices for you. I just don't want you to see and do anything or say anything until the end of the month, because at the end of the month, you'll still have a choice. But I can't stress this enough. It'll be your choice, not a choice somebody else made for you by pushing you into a corner and then you reacted. See what I mean? And will there be much to react to? Oh, yes. And would you be in the right if you reacted to it? Generally, but not this month. You'll be painted the bad guy no matter what you say. That's why you're not going to say anything. Right? Right. Good. In the extended, we're going to shuffle through for each card. We're going to ask some general questions about exes coming back, all of that good stuff, and take a look at February. So that's in the extended, that's on Vimeo or the instant link below. It's the same reading, it's just two different ways to get it. If you're interested in a personal recorded reading sent to your inbox that's about 7 to 10 minutes long, take a look at the Cameo link below. If you would rather a live one-on-one video chat reading with me, those are done on Tuesdays. There's only 4 slots a week. Usually they're sold out, but I will put the link below and I will add some more dates. If you are interested in a guided meditation for Lunar New Year's on February 12th, there is a link for tickets to that below as well. And these are the Revolution rings. You can find them at the link below, and there is also an Instagram link where you can check out RevFem wearing these rings. Also, if you're interested in a daily horoscope or a look at the daily transits, astrological transits, and how they affect your sign, come join the RevFem at the Quietest Revolution on Instagram. That link is below as well. Of course, you can find all this in the links, or you can just go to that top link, ambercon.com, and it'll all be there. Love you, love you. Let's get into the extended right now.